Hello, everyone, and welcome to summer.
Good
That's right.
afternoon, everybody.
It's Monday. It's hot everywhere, not just here in the South in Texas. Even Phineas has got some temperatures that are unbelievable where he's at. I noticed that Santa Doug mentioned that it's hot, hot, hot. It is that time of year. It is Monday, and this is Bob and Phineas Live. And yes, we are melting down. Ice cream truck started by a while ago, looked out front, and it was half melted.
Good grief. Good grief. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty hot when the ice cream truck starts melting.
Hmm.
So, 91 currently here on my computer, mostly sunny. 93 according to the bot. Okay, 93. It depends on where you're at, where that temperature comes from. So this is from our area right here, 93. Hot, hot, hot. Yes, sir, it is. And Phineas, you told me while ago in the green room that you was
Oh,
about to melt today too. Tell us about your
we,
temperatures.
we got up to 112 today, right around lunchtime. It is currently 97 where I'm at. So it is hot here. So
I know
definitely,
we were 95 or 96 for the high yesterday here, which wasn't as bad as it sounds, but you throw in that heat index of
yep,
real field temperature was 103, so it was hot.
definitely quite warm.
Yeah. So Everett says it's so hot down here. I saw a dog chasing a cat, and they were both walking. Oh goodness. Well, it's to be expected. We're in that type of time of year when the weather pattern kind of gets stagnant. The heat sets in. We just had our longest day of the year as far as daylight to dusk, and our weatherman here likes to make fun of that. He says there's only 24 hours in a day. One day is not longer than the other, but that all said, there is a difference in the way the summer solstice comes and the sun beams down on us for the longest amount of time for
Yes,
that
indeed.
day. Now we start
Yep.
losing a few seconds each day, and what's crazy about that is you would think that would really be our hottest day of the year, but our hottest days here in Texas don't come until usually mid-July through the 1st of September. August is always brutally hot here, and the only saving grace, I guess you could say, would be is that the humidity does die down a little bit in July and August. So if it, but the drier air heats up quicker. So if it's 95 with a heat index of 103, or it's 99 with a heat index of 103, it doesn't matter. It's all about the moisture.
Yep. Yep. If
Uh,
that doesn't evaporate, you stay hotter longer. So
yes, sir.
yep.
That's correct.
Yep.
Santa Bob, Robert Lawyer says, it's so hot here. And we say, how hot is it, Bob? I saw a bird pulling a worm out of a ground using a pot holder. I
Um,
love that one. I had never heard that one before. Good job, Bob. And we got a good crew on today. As I mentioned, Santa Bob in Alabama, Kane Smith, Gary Linder's with us always, Everett Prostello, Bill Coates has checked in with us. Dana's along for the ride today. She says hot, hot.
yeah.
It's like Mr. Anderson, Paul up there in your neck of the woods says good afternoon to everyone.
Yep, Santa Bill Gorbett from my neck of the woods as well says good afternoon. AJ is here as always. Hello, AJ. Good to see you. Bill Coates has joined us, as has Diane Veen and John Schnagelberger. Good to see everyone
And
today.
Kevin Bernhardt is with us also from Kansas.
Yep. And he says it's wet and hot in Kansas. So hopefully the rain, I'm hoping it's rain, is cooling things down for you. If not, it's just sticky. So,
Well, and that's the whole side effect to the downpour during the summer is it cools it off for 10 or 15 minutes. Sun comes back out, and then the heat index just explodes on you. So,
indeed, indeed. Yep. Yep.
yeah. All right. Well, we hope everyone had a good weekend. It's been busy for us. We're leading up to School of Santas, lots to do there in preparations. Even though you got a whole year to get ready, it does kind of a lot of it falls right down to the last minute anyway. Lots of stuff going on with TNL Network Productions. Shows are doing excellent. We are so happy with that. Got new stuff coming up that we're not going to talk about until much later, but we've got some really cool stuff coming up. Trish Biznicki is on with us today, and she and I had a good conversation this week about some upcoming future events. Neil. Neil from Australia is with us. Hello, Neil. Hello, my friend. He's at Mount Buller. How would you say that, Phineas, properly?
Mount Buller, perhaps. Good.
I'm not sure how they pronounce that in Australia, but
Yeah.
of course it is good morning there.
Yes. Indeed.
It's supposed to snow from midday for the next 36 hours. Again, them being in the southern hemisphere, it's winter for them, and he's at the ski resort, loving it, living it up. Him and Karen having a good time, and
Beautiful.
we got a show coming up with them here in next month, actually, or month after next, actually, the 1st of August, and looking forward to that. It's going to be fun from the ski resort village. Okay, I think we've set our highs. Our temperatures have done their talking. Let's go ahead and jump in with our Santa B inspirational message for the week.
Ho, 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 and happy day, my friends. Santa B back with you here again today. And today I encourage you to be filled with wonder. Look around, see the amazing things just in your space today. As you go outside, looking at the world, thinking about how many amazing things that there are. And to be filled with wonder gives us fresh eyes to look at the things around us and to see what maybe we've looked at 1,000 times, but see it in a different light. Sometimes even in the eyes of a child. So I encourage you, as you spend the day filled with wonder, remember that what that truly makes you is wonderful. My friends, be blessed, be well. I love you all.
Very, very good. That always just kind of sets the tone for the week for me, and it's a blessing, and it fills our soul. And you know what else fills us? That big old burger.
Indeed.
Really, let's go ahead and jump into that something burger, our hot topics for the day. We're
I
gonna
do
run a
believe
couple.
so.
Be right back on the other side.
So for today's Something Burger, we've got a couple of questions for you. The first one being, and put your thinking hats on, if you could design and produce a new toy and bringing it to both the Claus community and general public for the coming holiday season, what cool toy would you dream up? So if you could design a toy for the coming season, what would you dream up for this? And I would not design a toy. I would design something for the parents, particularly the parents of the children that have all sorts of small little bits and pieces that get scattered all over the floor and everything. And I would design something that's sort of like a toy Roomba. And it would go around the children's play area and vacuum up all the Lego bricks and all the little, the little guns and bits and pieces from all the Star Wars figures and everything like that. Just something to vacuum it all up. And then it would go back and then dump everything into a container. So it would be easy to clean up, and it would just be something just to keep the floor clean and also to prevent your feet from being injured from those pesky Lego bricks. And that would be what I would be designing. I'm just thinking practical here.
That's a great one. I never would have thought of that for sure. Real quick, Neil said that you got it right on the pronunciation. So good job, Phineas.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is something that kind of has to kind of dwell in your head for a minute and kind of think about what could I come up with that's not already out there. You know, toys from the past always come to mind for me. You know, things like tops and yo-yos and kites that you don't see a whole lot of anymore. But you know, you could do something unique there, Christmas related. You know, but when you think about our childhood, you think about the Jetsons.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Jetsons had a flying machine that they transported themselves around in for transportation. We're on the cusp of that now with with drones. There are some flying drones out there that can carry a single person, and that's being developed. There's flying cars that take off like an airplane and fold their wings in. You know, when they get on the ground, and it's got to be cool to do a Santa sleigh. Toy, of course. It wouldn't but do nothing but hover. It wouldn't, it would have a limitation of maybe 3 feet off the ground, so that if a child was to slip out of the seatbelt, fall, they wouldn't get hurt. But it would be kind of cool. That was what I was thinking of when I wrote this. Was how cool would it be to have a little flying sleigh to do for parades and different events, and that would be pretty neat.
Well, thank you, Trish. It's good to see you. I was quite happy to see your name. Trish Visnecki is watching us, and it's her first time watching the show live. So thank you very much for joining us. So great to see you.
See what John put down there, right?
Yeah, he's got it down to 78 degrees today where he's at. So enjoy, John. And Santa Doug has said he would like to bring back some of the classics like Stretch Armstrong and the Snoopy Snow Cone Maker.
You're cool.
I remember that. You put the ice in the doghouse and grind it down, and then you had, I think it was Kool-Aid that they usually gave you or something like that. I did see them. I think one of the catalog companies actually had them for sale a couple years back, the Snoopy Snow Cone Maker. So that would be wonderful.
Sometimes you can find that kind of thing on eBay too. It's going to be used. Very seldom will you find one still in the original packaging that has not been opened. But I mean, it's still in pristine shape or anything below that. But sometimes you can.
Everett Prostrollo says that he would like to bring forth an interactive toy that is designed to create imagination in both the adult and the child, something that would cross beyond all generations and be a continuing use type of toy. So
like that?
Definitely. I just saw some friends, they spent their time with their grandparents and they dug out the old Lincoln log set and they were building log cabins with Lincoln logs. So there we go. Something like that.
Looks like CJ just joined us, and he probably didn't hear the question, Penny. So I'm gonna read it again real quick.
Okay.
Charlie, if you could design and produce a new toy, bring it to the Claus community and the general public, what cool toy could you dream up? So this is imaginary. This is playing, but if you could design one, what would it be? Charlie says it's 95 where he's at, by the way.
Oof. Santa Doug also commented about the old zipper cap guns, and kids can't even play with guns anymore. And I don't even know if you can buy caps anymore because I mean, when Mike was a young one, he would used to scrape all the stuff off the cap guns, off the caps, and then hit it with the rock or the butt of the gun to create a bigger explosion. So there were a few near misses with that, and I think they can't play with them probably for some very good safety reasons. So them and lawn darts So Kane Smith says that he's seen many Jack in the Boxes and they all seem to play Pop Goes the Weasel, but there's never actually a weasel that pops out at the end. And that's probably where he would start. So
that would be fun. That would be cool. Or, what would be even cooler, go ahead and do traditional with the Jack or whatever, popping out of the top, and then you go right out of Pop Goes the Weasel song right into a weasel popping out the front like a little trap door. Go, boop.
Yep.
That'd be kind of cool.
Paul Anderson just said that Lee Valley Tools has Lincoln logs for sale. So, as I said, some of these catalog businesses, they definitely have They definitely have some of the classic toys. I've seen Tinker toys available. John Schnagelberger, speaking of building kits, says, anybody remember the Capsella kits, the plastic caps that you made into robots and stuff like that? So yeah, they were definitely fun. So
Very cool stuff.
yes, indeed. So
Looks like that's all we have coming in at the time. So, should we go ahead and pose the second part of this?
why not? Let's go ahead. And the second question is, if you choose to create a new toy, where would you choose to launch your toy product for sale?
Something to think about.
Something to think about. How would you market it? What type of packaging and what type of marketing would you use, and where would you retail it? So
Yeah, and there is an article that I linked to here, and I don't know if Angela put that in the link or not, but it's 5 key features of successfully new toy launches for anyone that might be thinking about building a toy. There's the naughty or nice meter that Jenny Watt just developed for the phones.
Yep.
So that was another reason that this topic came up. When I saw that, I thought, that's something that we could all do. I had the badge and wallet, naughty and nice badge and wallet. That was actually a Bob King creation, and when Bob passed, I took that project over with Shirley's blessing, and so there's new and cool stuff that comes along. Of course, Spangle pretty much seems to be the one that's doing a lot of that nowadays, but be cool to see what everybody could do, because we've all got that in the back of our head, how we could do more, how we could do this. Let's see here.
Earl Loveday said he would sell it on Amazon and market it on TikTok, and I can see that, like really quick videos. Actually, these days TikTok has their own marketplace, and if you're marketing it on TikTok, you can sell it on TikTok as well. Robert Auer says he would want the ShamWow guy.
Maybe one way to market it for sure.
Definitely. Or I also remember the OxyClean Billy Blanks. If he was still with us, he'd be good too. So
yeah.
Yep. Trish Visnecki said, with her thinking cap on, definitely social media marketing to get parents of young ones. Instagram would be good.
Yes,
and
it
would. TikTok. Santa Doug said he would get Mattel to produce it if the North Pole elves could not produce it. So, And John Schnagelberger says, given the lack of brick and mortar stores within reach, he would put the products out online. So,
yeah. Everett says debut on live TV, market to YouTube, live streams, Netflix, TikTok, etc. Good point.
Good point.
Yep.
Ray
Bradshaw has joined us. Hello, Raymond.
Hello, Raymond. Bob, we've got a question from Earl Loveday, particularly about beard products and barber. Earl Loveday just says, do you guys use a regular barber for beard bleaching or styling, or should I find a salon? And for that, Earl, I will recommend that you look at the Tuesday Night Live show from a week or so ago. It should be available from last week, featuring Russell Ellison, who is a professional barber and hairstylist in the Dallas region, and all sorts of information on that one. So by all means, definitely take a look at Tuesday Night Live from last week with Russell Ellison. And if you go to the Claus Connection from 2 weeks ago, Sean White, aka Mrs. Claus Vintage, had someone who specializes in beard care products on as well. So you've got lots of options for learning about hair and beard treatment and care from the Tuesday Night Live production shows. So we definitely have gone in depth with that recently in the past month or so.
This is very true. Earl lives in Fort Worth, Texas, I believe, if I'm correct on that. And Earl Russell Ellison, Santa Russell or Santa Russ, is in Ennis, which is not far from you and I. I'm in Mesquite. You're in Fort Worth, just south of us, and he has a uh, barber shop on his property. He lives a little bit in the country there. You get outside of the metroplex, the cities of Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, so forth, so on. You start getting into a little bit of countryside, but they've got a farm down there, and he does have a location there. Now, he's not a full time barber, so you would have to reach out to him and make an appointment with him. But here in North Texas, he is highly recommended. Quite a few Santas have been able to hook up with him and get their beards done. Now, as far as the processing part of it, bleaching, uh, he's more on the barber side about keeping it trimmed, cut, grooming it, daily care, the correct products to put in it, which is really a whole beast in itself. When you start looking at all the products out there, there's many great products. But Santas have a unique situation where we want to be white. A lot of the products that are on the market for natural beards, when I say natural, that's not processed, not bleached white, have things like canola oil or coconut oil or different oils that will actually turn your beard yellow. And as a Santa, you want to be white, you don't want to be yellow. And it's just natural. I mean, even if say you eat ketchup with your French fries, your mustache may turn yellow because of what's in it. Something that Russell brought up on the show the other night was even toothpaste now, because a lot of your toothpaste are brightening toothpastes that have peroxide in them, and peroxide will also. And you would think that for a long time, what we used to process our beards with was a peroxide based product. But if you use toothpaste with peroxide, it can turn your mustache yellow where you get it in the tips of your mustache. So reach out to Russell Ellison, Santa Russ. He's in Ennis, Texas, Earl, and see if you can hook up with him. If nothing else, he has he's done extensive research and been to barber school. He may not process it for you, but he can sure tell you how and the products to use and all those sort of things. So
And as far as whitening, Kevin Bernhardt did say Missy Boggs did an appearance on the
correct.
Tuesday Night Live show. She runs a company called Snow on the Roof. And if you look her up on Facebook, you can find more information about Missy Boggs and what she does. She specializes in and whitening and lightening the hair on your face and mustache and your eyebrows too, if you've got thick, dark eyebrows. But definitely talk to Missy Boggs at Snow on the Roof. And once again, on the Tuesday Night Live show, she did a full segment in the past season. So go back about a month or so, and you'll see something from Missy Boggs as well. So
Yes, that was she was on the Kringle Brothers
yep,
episode, and
yep.
she's on the East Coast. Is that correct?
She is in Georgia.
Georgia, Atlanta, or somewhere in the Atlanta area. But here's the cool part: is she also sells high end, and when I say high end, they are expensive, but they are some of the top products in the industry for white beards. So if nothing else, pick her brain. She said on the Kringle Brothers show that she was open to answer any and all questions. So Misty
Yep.
Boggs
Definitely an
and
expert.
Earl says he will reach out.
Yep. So
By the way, Earl, I don't know if you have joined the Texas State Santas or not. I am the founder and director for Texas State Santas. Since you are here in North Texas, it would be beneficial for you to get hooked up with us. We network, we do fellowship, we go out and have lunch together every 3 or 4 months, talk about seasons. And when I say network, if I've got a job that comes up in Fort Worth and I can't get over there to do it, I could call you, see if you had availability for that time. So uh, go over and join Texas State Santas. You'll have to click and join, and I will invite you in from there. And our next eat and meet, maybe get out and meet about 100 of the Santas and Mrs. Clauses from North Texas. We usually have around 80 to 100 folks show up on our eat and meets. Hello, Kevin. How are you, brother?
Hello, Kevin. Great to see you. Kevin is up near my neck of the woods, and he is actually one of the Santas that works at Santa's Village Theme Park in Bracebridge, Ontario, which is Canada's oldest theme park.
Wow. Very
And
cool.
so he is going to be in the throne most weekends during the summertime. So welcome, Kevin. Good to see you. So.
All right, that was a great session as always. Love getting these answers from the guys. Pick your brain, see what you're up to, what you think. This is part of the learning experience for all of us. Mondays affords us the time to dedicate the first 30 minutes of the show to this something burger hot topic. And Phineas has been doing 97% of all the questions this year. I've thrown in a couple, but since he came on with us full time this year, he's been doing those. And man, has he been bringing the fire. Great questions.
Thank you very much, sir. It's great. It's great to be able to pick people's brains and get them thinking, put their thinking caps on. So,
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Pat Moss has joined us from Houston.
uh,
Ray Bradshaw wants to know about a eat meat at Tobert's. Right after we get out of Branson, June and July is Branson, dedicated to Branson. I mean, it's pretty much all we can think about and work on besides doing the shows and the other things I have working. Also in the planning stages for Cornerstones, which we've launched and so it's been busy. So I have not had a chance to put one together, but after we get out of Branson, things cool down for a couple of months, and I plan on having a couple of eat mates here back to back pretty close. The place that we've gone to in Arlington, I know that you don't travel, but the place that we've gone to in Arlington recently closed down at the first of the year, and an executive chef bought it and has revamped it. And I had some friends go out there this last week and eat, and they say it is definitely a 10. So we'll have to get back out to Campo Verde in Arlington and do that again. And I also want to get back up to Tobert's. Tobert's is always really good to us. Tobert's is in Grapevine, by the way, the Christmas capital of Texas, and they always treat us very well, and we always have a great turnout when we go north. So, hi, Becky Gilstrap. I talked to you while I got on the phone, girl. All right, I think we've come to the end of this segment. Great job as always. Like I said, we've spent 30 minutes or 25 minutes on it, and we appreciate everyone joining in and helping us on that. It's always fun. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our santascloset.org trivia for the day. This is going to be another fun one. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob and Phineas Live, the show about nothing. Season 4 of Bob and Phineas is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central, presented by TNL Network Productions. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob and Phineas in the TNL studios in today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
So once again, for Santa's Closet Trivia, winners' names will go into the hat for a scholarship for North Pole Cornerstones 2026 in Oklahoma, as well as you will get a prize from santacloset.org. We will also need your t-shirt size if we don't have it on file, as well as your address, so Wade and Scarlett can get your gift pack out to you in a expedient manner. Today's trivia is once again based on children's books, Little Golden Books in particular. I Can't Wait for Christmas is a Little Golden Book based on the Sesame Street series. What does Granny give Big Bird for Christmas? And in return, what does Big Bird give Granny for Christmas? Who authored this book and who was the illustrator? So we are looking for four things. We are looking for what Granny got Big Bird for Christmas, what Big Bird got Granny for Christmas, who wrote the book, and who illustrated the book. And once again, it is I Can't Wait for Christmas, a little golden book based on the Sesame Street series.
Yeah, that's a good one. I guess I didn't realize that the little golden book had one based on Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that one. It caught my eye. And then, of course, Christmas, popped out at me. And I said, that's a good one for this week. So that's our trivia question for the week. The North Pole Cornerstone Scholarship, if you win, your name goes in a hat for that. That drawing will be done our last show of this season on Tuesday Night Live. Last show, we will draw those names out of the hat for that winner. Real quick, I want to jump back to Earl Loveday. Earl, you being in Fort Worth, I don't know if you know Cherry Hill Programs. They are a mall placement photo company. That's who I work for. It'll be my 13th season with them. And Becky Gilstrap lives in Fort Worth also, and she's on with us today. She is one of the recruiting managers for Cherry Hill. There are some jobs, or there was the last I heard about a week and a half ago, a couple of malls that are open in the Fort Worth area. If you are interested in being a mall Santa, reach out to Becky Gilstrap. Becky, I referred him.
Very slick there, Bob.
I'm trying real hard. We're got to get these seats filled. I mean, that we don't want children to be disappointed and not have a Santa at their mall. So Becky said, I got you. Thank you, dear. All right, looks like got at least one answer coming in there.
Yes, indeed.
So at this point, I think let them work on that a little bit longer. And we're going to go ahead and jump over and play our two promos and go from there. Very good. The first commercial there that we run, King Risk Partners, the vice president for King Risk Partners will be on tomorrow night on Tuesday Night Live. We'll talk more about that here in a moment. And Caboots, if you're looking for a new pair of quality boots, Caboots been 4 generations boot makers, and they have some of the top boots. And as Phineas will tell you, clown shoes as far as that goes. If you're into clowning, you can get all your product right there from Caboots, Joey, and Priscilla Sanchez over in El Paso. Okay, let's see. Becky Gilstrap, quick note says she's needing a bilingual speaking Santa in El Paso, Texas. We just mentioned El Paso. There again, if anyone over in that region or anyone wants to travel, they would rather have local, but if they can't find local, they will ship you in. And if you're interested in traveling or interested in the El Paso a job that is open, reach out to Becky Gilstrap, Cherry Hill Programs. And that would be B, the letter B, Gilstrap, just like you see it in the chat, Gilstrap at cherryhillprograms.com. That's the email address. bgilstrap@cherryhillprograms.com. Okie dokie. Let's jump on into our Elp and Chatterbox news at this point. We're not going to beat a dead horse here. Just remember, Cornerstones has a class coming up February 12th to 15th, 4 days in Oklahoma City North, Edmond, Oklahoma. And we do have a discount running right now. If you sign up and pay in full here in the next 6 weeks, I believe it is 5 weeks, you get a $25 discount. So keep that in mind. That is, by the way, at the Hilton Garden Inn and Conference Center. Okay, Phineas.
Okay. Coming up September 18th to 21st, 2025 in Schaumburg, Illinois, which is the Chicago area. Santa Nana's Holiday University is coming to the Windy City. Hosted by the Northern Illinois Christmas Entertainers Group, Santa Nana's Holiday University offers an excellent school from a different perspective. It's offered from a women's point of view, but is designed for all entertainers. Santas, Mrs. Claus's, elves, couples, solo, support staff, and more. It will include hands-on breakout sessions to give you real tools to enhance your own portrayal, and includes 2 lunches, a dinner, snacks and beverages, as well as a graduation reception and student handbook and much more. Register at santanana.com and join Judith Broderick and Deanna Golden in Schaumburg, Illinois, Hoffman Estates, Illinois.
And that class is beginning to take hold. Quite a few folks have signed up recently for that. We'll thank them for that. It's a great class to take.
It is. And coming up in 24 days, just 24 days away in Branson, Missouri, School of Santas 2025 from July 17th through 20th, featuring the keynote instructor, Lee Andrews, also featuring our own Tuesday Night Live network, TNL Network Productions, Mrs. Claus Vintage, Sean White, as well as a number of other friends and people involved with TNL Productions. Join Spangle and his happy crew for a time of fellowship, instruction, and entertainment, and just enjoy what he has to offer. And hopefully everybody gets a bowl or a dish of the cobbler as well. So,
yes, it's going to be fun. We leave in 20 days, so it's really getting close for us. And head up that way. Lots of things to do for the 4 days prior to opening, getting set up. TNL will be there covering the event from beginning to end, as we always do. Going to be fun. Going to have AJ there this year on the desk with us, and of course Rob will be there. And so will Mel. We're all going to gather around and Scott. We're all going to gather around the TNL and chat about nothing. Okie dokie. Are we ready to get this shovel out?
Indeed, I'm getting ready to dig deeper for you.
All right, character development, digging deeper with Phineas is next.
So for the past few months, I've been talking about character development, talking specifically about how I go about the character development process, and using research of history, using research of social, of popular culture, as well as just common sense ideas as to why the character that you portray is where you are at that moment. So, you know, if you're doing Christmas in July, why Santa is down at the beach in July at a pool party or what have you. The next step is that when you are out and visiting with the families and the believers, and in the heat of the moment, you come up with something good. You come up with something that continues to tell your story, builds towards who you are as your Christmas character, and then it's something that you think will add to your future presentations and your future visits with the believers. What do you do when you come up with that? My recommendation is that you carry a notebook with you. So I have a notebook that is very portable, that is separate from the other notebooks I use, the prayer book that Santa and Phineas use. And when I come up with an idea that is just, ooh, that was really good, that was something that, I should remember, I make a quick note of it in that notebook. I take a note of what the question was, or what the conversation was leading up to that, and then what my response to that was, or what the bit was. And in that way, I am able to basically have a record of it. It doesn't take a lot to do. You can do it if you've got time in between visiting with the families, you can do it then. If you've got time at the end, you're getting into the car and just about ready to head home, take note of the things that worked. Take note of the ideas that popped up and that were really good and that you think that you could use later on. Just a good way of remembering things, and it becomes a tool, because we're all getting older, and the memory doesn't last as much as it could. And sometimes, things are very fleeting when it happens in the heat of the moment, and you're just mid-flow and you're in the process of talking to a child, talking to an adult, and it just works. So if you're able to take a quick note, jot it down, what the situation was, what your idea was, how it went over, and that way you're able to review it at the end of the day, at the end of the season, whatever. That is something that I do regularly, and that is something that I do with Santa David as well. When I keep literally a diary of the gigs that we do, the children that we visited, what their wishes were, what grade they're in, a whole 9 yards. So when we do visits again next year, we're able to, ask them how grade 4 was last year, or ask them, did you like are you still playing with the doll you got last year, or are you still playing with whatever it was you got last year? And that way, when you do have repeat customers, which is what we're looking for repeat visits to become part of the family's Christmas traditions, that it shows that, hey, we remember that we were there last year. We remember that, they won the hockey championship last year, or, they were in the dance championship. But at the same time, we've also got a note that, oh, I did this with the thumb tip, or I did this with the squeaker, or I remember this story that I told about something about the elves or the polar bears at the North Pole, or the fact that we actually had a penguin that got lost at the North Pole. So in case we get asked, hey, what happened to that penguin at the North Pole? We're able to continue on with the story, and maybe it's something that we told elsewhere at a different Christmas function with a different family. So keep a notebook with you, keep a pen with you, and this will help you as you continue to build who you are as a Christmas performer. It will help remind you of the families you visited with, and if you get repeat visits with them next year, if you got a really good piece of shtick, or a really good story that just worked and went over really well, you can just write it down and make sure that you have it there to remember. So last year we had a story about the Reindeer Wellness Center. We have an ongoing shtick over the past few years, because like a few years ago when slime was really big, we had a huge slime spill, and not only was it just a slime spill at the North Pole, there was glitter in that spine, and we're still picking glitter out of places that shouldn't have glitter in them and stuff like that. And it's stuff that will add to your portrayal. It's stuff that will add to the families and the believers that you remember. And you may not remember it yourself. You've got your backup plan, and that way we're able to continue to build upon the story that we're telling, because that's what we're doing. We're telling stories about who we are, at the North Pole, who we are as Santas, elves, Mrs. Clauses, and what is going on, and why we are where we are at that moment. So keep a notebook with you. You never know when inspiration will hit. You never know when you need to write something down, or just keep a Christmas wish handy. Just always helpful to have. So hope that helps.
Fantastic information there, Phineas. Spot on as always, man. That's an important aspect though of developing and knowing what you need to do from year to year, year to year by keeping the notes. And I've heard of some Santas, Mrs. Clauses say, well, they asked me to do something different this year. Well, do you actually remember what you did last year? If you don't write it down, you do 50 or 60 or 75 or more visits in a year. How do you remember? So keeping good records is very important. That was spot on.
Yep. When we were doing all of the virtual visits, and we still do virtual visits, we still have a number of families that are so spread out that they just can't get together for family visits. We actually have a database of all the virtual visits we did, how old the children were, what grades they're in, what names their teachers were, and everything like that. And that is all up on the screen for Santa and Phineas to be able to just pull that stuff out of the air and create that connection.
That's right.
With the family. And, especially when the children are getting older and they're on the cusp of not believing, but at the same time, we remember what they did in grade 4 with Mrs. Smith, and you won the French award. Are you still doing well with French this year, or something like that? And so keep records, especially if you know that they're going to be repeat visits, repeat families. The one thing that most humbled me this past season was the fact that when we walked into the living room of one of our regulars' houses, there were photos of Santa and Phineas on their living room wall above the couch with the families. So we walked in and we saw ourselves as something that they cherished enough that they wanted to see every day when they walked into that living room. And so that is humbling and just something that we do. And it is an honor that I take with me. And that's why I try to do my best to provide them with ongoing memories and make them know that they are part of my memory as well.
Build that relationship and you become part of their family. You literally become part of their family, a tradition that they look forward to. Not only when it gets late in the year, but a lot of folks year round can't wait for Christmas or Christmas, for lack of better words, Christmas breaks. Many of us are, but again, just a small piece of information can make a big, big, big difference in a child's life. As Penny said, a memory from 4 years ago that they may have not even thought about. And Santa or Phineas pulls that out of thin air, and instantly, if they were on the cusp of not believing for whatever reason, the children in school or whatever their mindset may be, that connection, that click, that all comes right back and pulls it right back down and makes that reality. Wow, this guy, he really is Santa, and that's a real elf, and that's important to keep that magic alive.
And we are now part of one of the families. We are now part of their 3rd generation. We've been with them for 3 generations, and
that is super cool.
An honor. Yep. And Santa B has just joined us. Happy day. Good to see you, Santa B. Thank you.
Yes. We were just talking about you and talking about Branson coming up in the TNL network coverage. You, Mel, me, AJ, and whoever else wants to join in. We're going to be there having fun. We leave in 20 days, and we'll see you when we get there, man. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into our trivia answer. I'm going to go ahead and grab it this week real quick, finish, because I'm going to let you cover everything as far as the shows go.
Okay.
I Can't Wait for Christmas is a little golden book based on the Sesame Street series. What does Granny give Big Bird for Christmas? And in return, what does Big Bird give Granny for Christmas? We also needed the author and the illustrator. Our answers there is Big Bird got a baseball bat from Granny, and Granny got a birdhouse from Big Bird. And the author was Linda Lee Mayfair and illustrated by Joe Ears. How would you say that, Phineas?
Viewers.
Ears? Kind of like ears with a. Anyway.
Viewers.
Yeah, viewers, or we could different ways. Okay. And I believe Everett was our winner.
Yes.
That's correct. Everett is the winner. Good job, Everett.
Congratulations, Everett.
We'll get your name over to Wade and Scarlett and get them to get you something on the way to you. Okay. TNL upcoming guests and shows. Don't forget to watch all the TNL Network Productions 2025 list of shows. And this week, over to Phineas for the rundown.
For tonight at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, the Claus Connect featuring Shaun White. Episode 10 will be Through the Eyes of the Puppet, and it will include Betsy Madzieski, Dr. Bruce Kodovich, Santa B, Rob, and you might see someone else too. You never know. Who knows? Tomorrow on Tuesday Night Live, we will have Larry Talbert, who's the Vice President of King Risk Partners and Santa Magic Pro. And Larry will be joining Bob and Spangle and Angela at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern to talk all things insurance and magic as well. On June 18th, there will be no Kringle time with the Kringle brothers. Mike Howe and Mike Burer will be taking the evening off, and so hopefully they will enjoy some time off. I know that they are currently sweltering under the same temperatures that CJ and I are currently enjoying. So hopefully they have some cool time off. But on Thursday night, Santa's Magical Fellowship will have their regular chat at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And once again, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. It does start an hour earlier, as we did have some latecomers that joined in last week. So just wanted to remind you.
Yes, absolutely. Everett, which email are we speaking of, sir? Pop that in the chat for me, if you will. It's like Jerry Kyle has joined us from Michigan.
Welcome, Jerry. Hoping all is well.
Trish says she was so glad that she was able to join today. Phineas is great and always has lots to contribute. Yes, he does. You two are great together. See you all soon. Have a great week. Many of you may have heard and or may not, but Trish has joined the TNL family. She will be our evergreen queen on the scene. She will be a field reporter for us when we go TNL on the road. And she is slated to go with us, Scott and I, out to California. She is from Southern California originally, actually Orange County, where the Forbes convention will be held in 2026, and be her old stomping grounds. And this will be fun for her to take a trip back and be part of the TNL family. She's going to be doing lots of interviews. We've kind of gotten to the point where with the TNL vendor booth, if you want to call it that, our information booth that we've had at the last couple of large events, we get tied up there and can't get out and do the interviews that we're known for. And so we'll still be able to get the interviews through Trish, and she's an excellent interviewer, and still be able to anchor the desk and take care of things there too.
Welcome, Santa Mel. Good to see you. Hoping all is well in Michigan and that you're keeping cool. Good to see you.
Okay, let's see. Okay, got you, Everett. Yeah, I'll send you a PM here in a minute, and we'll get, like I say, we'll get that taken care of. Okay, Mel has joined us. Hi, Mel. How are ya? Hot, she says. Yeah, we've all complained about the hot. I think the first 15 minutes of the show was everybody voicing their displeasure with the heat that we're having.
Yep,
Uh,
everybody's melting.
I know you missed it, but Phineas was in triple digits and above today, where he was at. So
Yep.
Larry Davis has joined us. Everybody's getting here at the end of the show.
Everybody's showing up at the end of the show. Hi, Larry. Hoping you and Carrie are doing well. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. So,
What'd she say?
Melissa says it's so hot she saw 2 trees fighting over a dog.
Another good one. The comments were popping up so fast I couldn't read it. I'm trying to follow it up the page.
How hot is it supposed to get in Branson, Bob? AJ, that's 24 days away. We really can't predict.
20 days away, AJ. I can just tell you that every year it's warm at that week of July in Branson. Is it as hot as it is today in the northern flanks where Phineas is, or down here in the south where I am? Because you're in between. And I know that the heat dome is kind of built in all across the eastern half. And so who knows, AJ, like Phineas said, it's still 24 days away. But I would say be prepared to bring lots of drink, water with you. Well, once you get there, Spangle takes care of you. But be sure while you're traveling, you got plenty to drink and stay covered up and stay out of the heat the best you can.
According to the weather sources, AJ, it's typically around the 90s with lows around the 70s at nighttime. There's some rain, but it doesn't last through the day. But it's typically pretty sunny in Branson throughout the
Pop-up showers.
Yep.
And
so
again, when those pop-up showers happen, it cools it down for a moment, and then the humidity starts rising back in the atmosphere, and it gets really sticky. So,
yep. So
Everett says it's snowing in Montana.
I'd accept some snow. It's snowing in Australia too, Everett. So
yeah. Snowing up on top of the mountain. I did a video call with him a couple of weeks back, and they're from the ski lodge and the village, and it was snowing up a storm, and it was already deep out there. He said they'd had a good snowfall so far to open up their ski season, so that was pretty cool. He turned the camera and showed me out the window, and I almost got a chill for about a half a second.
Santa Doug says it's so hot they're going to rename you Sizzling Santa, Bob. So
Larry Davis says, sorry, he just got off work, wanted to hop on. Just got to say, we had a great time this Saturday. Larry and Sherry Davis, Randy and Debbie Neely, and Angela and Russell Ellison and Carol and I went out to eat Saturday for lunch, spent a couple hours together. It was fun time. We thoroughly enjoyed it. Randy Neely's son has a restaurant in one of our local towns. Highly sought after, excellent food, talk of the town, and second time we've been out there, and it does not disappoint. Excellent. I got the BLT, so did my wife. It was excellent. Santa Doug says so hot they're going to rename Bob Sizzling Santa.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yep. Okay. Looks like Becky's going to drop out. I think we've run our course. It's 4:00. We've had our hour, and we want to thank everyone so much for joining us today. We definitely appreciate it. We look forward to doing these on Monday because we get to spend time with all the folks we love the most. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Phineas. Great job. And we'll talk back in the green room. And Everett, I'll get with you, brother.
Yep.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you very much for joining us, everybody. Have a good day. Keep cool and keep healthy. Thank you very much.